Hello friends and welcome to Womb Talk. I am Dr. Somayajula and congratulations, you are planning to become a parent. Now when you have decided to be a parent, it means you are ready to take up the responsibility of guiding and nurturing a human life to become a successful and happy adult. Now in order to be able to guide your child, you need to be insightful and you should be in a position to analyze which is the best possible way to explain something to your child. And that is only possible when you understand your child. Now that your child is not yet born, why not we practice this particular ability with your spouse? And for this activity, I need you to grab 2 sheets of paper and 2 pencils or pens. And it would be really fun if you and your spouse sit together to listen to this particular video and to participate in this activity. Now, my suggestion is put a pause to this video right now and go grab your things. Great. Now that you have your paper and pencil ready, let's start the activity. And what I need you to do is I'll be giving out some words and I need you to draw those words without thinking too much about it. And remember, you're not supposed to look at what your partner is drawing until the end. And since this is a fun activity, be quick. I won't be giving too much of time. Alright? The first thing I need you to draw is a house. Okay, whichever way you want to draw it, just draw it fast. A house. Second thing I need you to draw is a tree. A tree. Which tree? I am not going to be specific. You can draw anything you like. The third thing I need you to draw is a river, a stream, a moving water body, whichever you want. There are choices open for you. Done? Good. Next, I need you to draw a few mountains or hills. How many? Nothing specific, your wish. Mountains or hills. And lastly, I need you to draw a snake. A snake. Now, I'll give you 30 seconds time to finish any of the things which you think are still incomplete, or to add anything else which you would like to, if you want to. Great. Now I need you to write your names on the piece of paper. Okay? Now if you want, you can look at your partner's drawing sheet. Alright? If you had noticed, there would be some people who would have drawn all of these words which I said just now in the form of a picture. As in, there is a house. Just beside the house there is a tree. Now, in the background there are a few mountains and there is a stream flowing in front of the house or beside the house, and then there is a snake somewhere in this whole picture. Right? Now, those of you who have drawn like this, I need you to write R, the alphabet R on the sheet. Now, there would also be some people who would have drawn it in a different way. What they had done, a house, a tree, a river, mountains, and a snake. One beside the other or one below the other. Those of you who had drawn like this, I need you to write the alphabet L. Okay? Now, what was this activity about? This activity was all about understanding or trying to understand the human brain, which is actually an extremely complicated organ in spite of all of our modern research, there is there are too many gray areas in our information about how the brain functions, and we are using this particular technique to try to improve your observational skills. The thing is, the brain is made up of two parts, the right part and the left part. We call them as the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, but let's not go too technical in this video. Alright, now the right part has certain functions and the left part has certain functions. And it is common knowledge that the left side of your brain will be controlling the right side of your body, and the right side of your brain will be controlling the left side of your body. Now, not just the body parts, but even the functions are slightly segregated. It is not as clearly demarcated as I might sound, because both sides of the brain will be functioning in every human. But yes, there is a bit of a segregation. For example, the left side of the brain will be controlling our speaking abilities, our reading ability, the writing ability, listening, grammar, numbers, computation skill, analyzing information, reasoning, logic, sequential thinking, time awareness. Okay, and all of these things are apart from its ability to control the right side of the brain. So what happens is, those people who have written L on your sheets, so you will predominantly be having these abilities more than the person who has written R on their sheets. Like, the people with L written on their sheets would be good planners. They will not be able to do anything without thoroughly planning the activity. They are very rational. They don't make decisions based on emotions. And if you give a problem, they would try to come to a logical reasoning. Okay, they are very precise and clear when they give out instructions or in their understanding, and they are very practical people. At the same time, those people who have are written on their sheets, that is, those people who have drawn it like a picture on your drawing sheets. Now, those people will have the ability to understand abstract things. They are very good with spatial relationships like driving or sports. They are very good with visual processing of information. They are good with emotions. They are having a high level of creativity, imagination, intuition. Organizing information is their ability, and these people would generally be very good with music and arts. So all of these things are apart from the right side of the brain to be controlling the left part of the body. So those people who have a predominant right side of the brain, they would generally be a bit impulsive. They are very emotional, and they would tend to think from their heart instead of their brain. And they would try to solve the problems based on emotional and intuitive analyzing rather than logical reasoning. So those people who have a predominant right side are generally people who will have a holistic understanding about a subject rather than the specifics. They would try to understand the context rather than the content. This is a broad classification of the functions of the right side of the hemisphere and the left side of the hemisphere of the brain. So what's the point of explaining this particular technique to all of you? The idea is to see that you develop the ability or the nuances required to understand the opposite person. Let's presume you are a left brain person wherein you are good with following rules, you are good with coming to a logical reasoning, you are very organized kind of person, but you have your spouse, or in the context we are talking today, your child is a right brain child. So now what's going to happen? Your child will not be so organized as you are. Your child will be able to understand art, emotion, feeling much more than rules, logic, and being fastidious. So how do we bridge this gap? Because this gap could mean a huge difference to the kind of bonding which you will be having with your child. Because if you are not able to communicate properly, there would be frustration, there could be anger, there could be resentment in either of the parties. That it could be in you or in your child, which could hinder the long-term emotional and mental development of your child. You definitely don't want this. So what should you do? You should try to understand the child from a very young age, because you will very clearly be able to see which side of the brain is predominant. For example, a child with right brain predominance will generally be having very good hand-eye coordination from a very young age, because their spatial knowledge is easily developed. Okay, while a child with left brain predominance will be good with their language skills. Okay, they will be very quick in learning how to speak. Now, if you ask me which side of the brain is predominantly good, I would say none. Why? Because a person or a child who has only one side predominant will always be a failure because of the weakness of the opposite side. For example, if a child grows up into an adult with an overactive and an extra predominant right side of the brain. Now, this child could be very good with art, but what's the point of this art when he is not able to sell his art properly in the market and he cannot cash on his art? Because the ability to market, the ability to communicate effectively in a business point of view is something which is a left brain activity. So it is your responsibility as a parent to ensure that this child, your child, is having a balanced hemispherical activity wherein both the hemispheres are equally developed. Now, going further in our channel, we will be discussing about techniques and exercises based on which you will be able to guide your child develop the other side or the weaker side of the brain, so that his mental ability is raised to its true potential. I hope I have been able to give some good insights to you, and we shall be sharing a lot of such kind of videos. So do subscribe to this channel. I am Dr. Somayajula, signing off for today.